Do you ever feel like there's so many moments that you want to deepen into and you want to be present? And there's just so much going on that later you find yourself asking yourself, wait, was there something I missed? Was there something more I could have received in that interaction with my husband? Was there something more tender, present than I realized at the moment? And as busy women in the world we live in, so much going on. There's so many moments that can feel so hard to drop in. And what we're learning in this week's Parshas Behaloscha, is really choosing to make that intimacy, that connection with our husbands, number one. To make that intimacy, that connection with our Hashem, our number one priority. Meaning taking our core relationships and saying, those opportunities to connect, why should I miss out? Just because life is busy and just because there's time and there's space and there's flux and we're in a physical world and physical bodies, why should I miss out? Why should I miss out on all the joy, the connection, the pleasure that is in my relationships, and specifically in my relationship with Hashem and my relationship with my husband? And they aren't separate relationships. Our marriage is an opportunity to connect deeply with the divine, and our relationship with Hashem gives us this springboard for real vulnerability and openness and receptivity that fuels the energy in our marriage. So deeply connected. And so let's learn the secret that this week's Parshas Behaloscha has for us. So this week's Parsha, fun fact, is actually there's considered to be 3 books of the Torah within Parshas Behaloscha. So of course we have Chamisha Torah, we have 5 books of the Torah, but there is an opinion that within Parshas Behaloscha, there's actually 3 books. So there is so much in this Parsha. So this idea of Pesach Sheni, the idea of a second Pesach, which happens 1 month after Pesach, so the 15th of Nisan, 1 month later, and the 15th of Iyar. And where did this come from? There were people in the desert, people at the time of Pesach, they couldn't, the original leaving Egypt, they couldn't do the Pesach offering. And they said, Lama Nagara, why should we miss out? Why should we be deprived? Why couldn't they do the Pesach offering? Because they were busy with tumas mace, bearing someone who had passed away. Oh no, sorry, this actually happened the second year, okay? So the second year in the desert, not the original time of leaving Egypt, the second year when we were in the desert, we did a Karban Pesach, and there were certain people who were involved in burying the dead. And because of that, they couldn't do this mitzvah of the Pesach offering, because you can't offer a Pesach offering in a state of tumah impurity. And so they said, why should we miss out on this mitzvah? Just because we were busy with another mitzvah, why should I miss out on this mitzvah? And so they said, Lama Nigara, why should we deprive that we may not bring the offering of God in its appointed season? And what happened? Hashem said, yes, you're 100% right. I'm going to give you Pesach Sheni. I'm going to give you that second chance, that opportunity to bring this offering. And so forevermore, we have this concept of Pesach Sheni, that if someone misses the Pesach offering on the actual time of Pesach, the 15th of Nisan, on the 15th of Iyar, they can come and bring this offering and have this celebration. And it's literally for them, Pesach. I actually learned that there was someone recently, a few years ago, the head of Hatzalah, he had to do Pesach Sheni because the first Pesach, he was so busy with emergencies, and he got sick at the same time, and there was so much going on that he couldn't do the Pesach Seder, so he actually did it a month later. So this is still applicable. And so what is this idea? You think normally, okay, there's certain opportunities that we have, and if we miss it, we miss it. We can't be everywhere at once, and they weren't doing something bad. It wasn't like they missed out because of something bad. They missed out because they were busy doing another mitzvah, and so seemingly, just let it be. But what were they saying? They were saying every single mitzvah is a unique connection, a unique divine hug between me and Hashem. Why should I miss out on that? Just because I was busy with that mitzvah, that unique divine hug, why should I miss out on this moment of intimacy and connection? And because they were so focused, and I want to get the full zest of this relationship, I want to get the full connection that is possible, I don't want to miss out on a moment of this relationship, because that's how they were viewing it. From this inner space, not from this place of, okay, well, I couldn't do that mitzvah because I was checking another box, right? They weren't seeing mitzvahs as a to-do list and, a checkbox or something very formal. They were seeing it as a divine, intimate relationship. And therefore Hashem said, yeah, why should you miss out? And gave them this other opportunity to connect. I think this is so powerful, to really just take a moment and say, why should I miss out on all the love and the joy and the tenderness and the sweetness that Hashem put inside of my relationship with my husband? Why should I miss out just because I'm busy and stressed and involved in so many other mitzvahs? Why should I miss out? And we're able to say, I don't want to miss out. Hashem, help me. Help me connect in the moment to everything that's being given, I really truly see and believe and experience that Hashem blesses us with that. And so just taking a moment to say, yeah, I don't want to miss out on any of the joy that's present. And I think when we talk about this kind of ideas, if you're in the Understanding Men course, right, we just talked about this, or if you want to join, we just started, it's so powerful. This idea of, the idealism comes into our relationships, these ideals. And instead of it just being like, oh, a nice thing, it becomes really like perfectionistic. Like, oh no, I have to tap into all the connection in my marriage, or I'm missing out. Like, let's not take it in that framework. We're not taking it from this place of like the ideal marriage. No such thing. What we're saying is a really heart-centered place of presence. I want to connect. It could be in the simplicity of unloading the dishwasher and my husband walks by and I look up. Like, why should I miss out on a moment of just presence? Or, my husband's saying something to me and I'm in the middle of 5 things and just, why should I miss out on this moment? Just looking up, just enjoying the color of his eyes, just being present to that moment. Or, maybe I'm super in the chaos of the day, but just enjoying his presence in the house, or just enjoying knowing, I'm in this marriage and that lends a certain level of safety and comfort, just the existence of it. Why should I miss out on all the joy and the connection and the safety that Hashem has packed into this relationship? And so not from a way of, that means I should make my relationship perfect according to this ideal way, and we should have scheduled date nights and all these things that don't actually work, And instead really being from a place of presence, like, yeah, I want to drop into the presence. And really, like, when we say, like, why should I miss out? It's also like being able to look back and enjoy, like, a memory book of all the good moments and all the moments of presence and connection between us and Hashem, and between us and our husbands, and really being able to capitalize. Like, just because I couldn't appreciate it then, why should I miss out? Let me enjoy it now. Let me look back at that moment and realize how sweet it was. Let me look back at that compliment and take it in 5 times deeper. Let me go through my texts and see the nice, the funny things my husband sends me in a week that just kind of happen in the middle of the week and I have to look at my phone and see it. Like, being able to also like retroactively go back and say, yeah, I'm going to take in that connection that was being offered. One other idea that's brought in this week's Parsha is the idea of the Mishkan. So every single time, the idea of the Mishkan, the Mishkan is the journey of the desert. We're connecting to Hashem in the wilderness through the Mishkan, through the tabernacle, through this mini Beis Hamikdash that's with us. And we were carrying it along, and the Leviim were setting it up. So we had 42 journeys in the desert, and every single time we stopped, we set up the Mishkan completely. The Leviim would get to work and set up the entire thing. And it could be we were there for a day, or it could be we were there for 12 years. Like, most of the time it was actually settled. It was only, like those journeys were usually shorter. So even if we were literally only in that spot for a few days, we never knew how long we were going to be there. It was part of the bitachon, trusting in Hashem journey. All of a sudden, like, the cloud would start and be like, trumpets, let's go. Like, all rise, we're moving. And what happened is that no matter how long we were there for, we didn't know how long we were there for, we just would completely unpack the Mishkan to the point that the Shekhinah could rest, like full embodiment, full presence, full showing up to a place that Hashem could actually call that place his home. And for me, that just is such a powerful message about presence. About, I don't know, how long this moment is. I don't know how important this moment is. Like, but just, I want to show up in this moment for all the Shekhinah, all the connection, all the divinity that's here. Really unpacking. And we talked about parts, in IFS work, like, bringing, like, we took all the different parts of the Mishkan and we brought them to a wholeness, and we brought them to, like, out to their glory, to a place that the Shekhinah could rest. Bringing all of myself into that moment. And I think what's so powerful about this is, like, really unpacking and really being there. It could be, I only have 20 minutes at home before I run out to do something. I'm really here. So let's really be here. Or, I only have 5 minutes with my husband, then he's going. Let it be enough. In these 5 minutes, I'm really going to enjoy him. I'm really going to be here. I'm really open. All of me is here. And when we're really able to say all of me is here in this relationship, there's a place of the Shekhinah, of Hashem's presence, really dwelling there. Because we know that the only way that we can connect to the living God is in the moment. Because this is the moment that Hashem is breathing us into existence, giving us life. A place to connect with God is really by bringing all of ourselves into this moment. And through that, we're open to all the gifts and treasures in this moment. Wishing you the most amazing Shabbos of presence and connection and compassion, and enjoy. Thank you.